I am a, His, a Hispanic Dominican young woman. In my culture, we value education, um, you know, following old traditions, family values, and what they expect in my culture is that I could be like conform to their way of to their lifestyle, how they treat others, how much respect I need for my mother, especially my other members of my family, just family values. I try to follow my faith through studying the Bible, being more involved in the service, um, learning to honor my parents, like my mom and my father, honor Jehovah. He comes first before anything else, and just the value of family. It's a very crucial part. What they expect in a young adult is that they they need to be more matured, um, emotionally, as well as spiritually, to carry responsibilities in the house. There are a lot of people in the mental health field that share the same culture as I do, so they understand completely. And then there are other people who has a different culture, and I have to respect their opinions, their views of life, and their traditions as long as they don't impose anything on me, you know. But well, as far as culture and trying to help me manage, my recovery, I thought it was going to be a big challenge because back in Salem, Massachusetts, I mean, I had therapists and I had just different people, but they didn't share the same culture as my mom, and the same. We didn't follow. They didn't follow anything exactly as the way my family had it. But here, I that's when I found George Castro through the PAC program when I was first introduced with DMH, and he was Hispanic. In fact, he was half Dominican and half Peruvian, which is, I think it's a good mix. But I found him really nice. He was very sweet, you know, our points of view, because some cultures don't share the same point of views as, people within, like, the culture that I belong to, They want me to recover, but they really don't get too involved with it because sometimes, like, in some ways, like, my family think I could just snap out of it, or at least that's my immediate family, who just, they think that my mental illness is not a real illness, that I'm just lazy, and they use a Spanish term for that, vagamunda. I'm sure there's a lot of people who go through the same things, but that's how it is with my culture, they don't understand. It's a challenge when I was growing up and becoming an adult, and what responsibilities I should carry once I grow older. My sisters tease me still because I don't have, like, I'm not involved with anyone. Sometimes my mom could even think like mohamona, like that's just a derogatory word for someone a woman who never gets married, and just they think that, I don't know, like I'm rigid or something. It's a nasty, stigmatized thing. The thing that I want them to understand is sometimes the way they talk to me is, it really hurts my feelings, and it also makes me feel like it just puts me down, and I hope they understand that it could lower my self-esteem and make things worse than making things better. Yeah, it's a real illness. It's a real disease, and it should be treated as a disease, not like something that anyone could just disregard. And it's in the mind, And when people get sick, I mean, it affects them. It affects them emotionally, and it affects them psychologically. And all people should have is, bring out awareness and really understand where all of this is and why people act the way they do is just a very unfortunate thing. The people from who provide services for me, like in the mental health field, um, they help me recover in many ways. It's always been my case manager trying to persuade my mom that what they're trying to do for me is necessary and very helpful. And sometimes it's hard, like trying to when I try to talk to my mom about my like condition and stuff, and she just thinks it's just nothing serious. Like I could just snap out of it. It's like a thing that no one really wants to talk about. Some people face the symptoms, some people don't. And my sister sometimes thinks that I could just like snap out of it and just she would have me affirm that I'm not crazy. Like, you're not crazy, right? You're not crazy. And I'm like, no, of course not. And there's always been some kind of a stigma behind that, that the mental health system does try to help, but they also try to help make my families and our culture as a whole understand that this is a real illness.